Alright, Salakia. The internet got cut off. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Anyway, like I was saying, like it says here in the book of Job, because at the end of the day, all those who are going to be deceived, okay, it's all because of so that the purpose of the Heavenly Father could stand. Okay, that those who've been given the truth at the end of the last days, and there are those who've been condemned, whose eyes have not been open to receive the truth. All right, this the book of Job, chapter 12, and verse 16. Says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, because the Heavenly Father controls both sides. Those who get deceived, okay, those who go out there believing all kinds of fucking lies, the Lord allows that to happen, because He never chosen certain people to receive the truth. Okay, so that He could be justified when He brings down judgment upon all the ungodly. Okay, Job chapter 12 verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, He controls both sides. That's the power of the Heavenly Father. Okay, like it says in Isaiah 45. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 45. So whether you live or you die tomorrow, it's all up to the Heavenly Father. Okay, and how you die, it's all up to the Heavenly Father. Whether He decides whether you're gonna die a tragic death, you're just never gonna wake up. The last thing you wanna remember is you going to sleep. It's all up to the Heavenly Father. Okay, this Isaiah chapter 45 verse 5. Verse 5 says, I am the Lord and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I created thee, though thou hast not known me. That says that they may know that from the rising of the sun and from the west there is none besides me. I am the Lord and there is none else. For I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So the Lord do all these things, but He creates peace and evil. Okay, all these things come from the Heavenly Father. Okay, that's why it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, everything has its own time and its own season and its own purpose. So who decides what season and what purpose the time is off? It's all up to the Heavenly Father, who you know is God, whose name is Yahweh. Okay, and it's all been done through what? Through the mediator Yahushua, because all the powers and the majesty and dominion has been given unto the Son. All right, that's who we answer to the Son. Okay, you can't deal with the Heavenly Father directly, because of the sins and transgressions done by us, the Israelites. Okay, the sons of Jacob. Okay, the Most High is now far from us, but through the mediator Yahushua, now we able to draw near. Okay, unto the Heavenly Father through the intercessor, the mediator Yahushua. Says Isaiah 45 verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Okay, and how the Lord's going to bring about evil? Okay, because the word evil just means what? Bad times. Okay, and evil times are just around the corner. He's going to bring famine such as never been seen before, the lack of food, water, and bread. Okay, he's about to bring race wars such you never seen before in your fucking life. Okay, and we see the small glimpse of all of it. Okay, through these riots among these nations, these uproars of the people that keep on escalating small bit by bit. Okay, these are all the steps leading to the great tribulation such as never been seen before. All right, now let's go to Isaiah 29. Verse 19 says, because they have not hearkened unto my words, saith the Lord, which I sent unto them my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but they will not hear, saith the Lord. Okay, because that's going to be the judgment of those who are still being rebellious unto this day. Okay, there's nothing but pure chaos and judgment that's awaiting the rebellious house. Okay, the rebellious of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and your descendants. The Lord's going to bring judgment and havoc upon all of you. Alright, He's going to bring nothing but pure chaos and judgment upon all of you. Alright, so there's another one. This is Jeremiah 29. It's like Isaiah 29. This is what I want to get. Isaiah chapter 29. Going back to Job 12 and verse 16. Alright, So the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 10 says, "For the Lord hath poured upon them the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed their eyes. The prophets and your rulers and your seas have he covered." Let me see, Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9 says, "Stir yourselves and wonder, cry out." It says, "Cry ye out and cry." It says, "They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured upon them the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed their eyes, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered." Right? And that's exactly the state, okay, of you Israelites and your leaders, as the Lord says in Jeremiah, "All my people, all they that lead thee, cause thee to err." Okay, because that's just the judgment from the Heavenly Father. Okay, he said, "I will also choose your delusions," and that's part of the delusions, because you love to hear the smooth things. Okay, you don't want to hear the truth. Okay, the harsh truth. You don't want to receive that. You still want to receive the smooth things, of which those smooth things are going to get you killed at the end of the day, because you hate the truth. You wanna only the smooth things. Okay, the warning, you don't want to receive the warning. You want all the exciting parts. Okay, all the prosperity, of which there's no prosperity in this place, because it's all going to be taken down eventually. This kingdom is going to go down. There's no form of prosperity. The only prosperity you can only look forward to is the new kingdom of heaven, wherein dwelleth righteousness, and that's going to be established on earth very soon, not in this filthy demonic planet and rulership that we're under right now, that has been given into the hands of the wicked. All right, Isaiah chapter 6 and 9. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 6 and 9, chapter 6 and verse 9 says, "And he said, Go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. It says, Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed." Okay, because there are those the Lord does not want to heal. Those who He deliberately has blinded them, so that they cannot hear, so that they cannot understand, so that they cannot be healed, so that they do not receive the healing. Okay, because it says, tell you that in Wisdom of Solomon, okay, it was neither herbs, but it was the word of the Lord that did all the healing. The word. That's why YAHWADAH even said, "Look, the way that I speak unto you, they are life, and they are spirit." So if you're not receiving these words of YAHWADAH, guess what? You've been blinded, okay, and you're not being healed right now. This, like it says in Jeremiah, let's get this another one precept in Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse, I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, "All that love us have forgotten thee. They that, says, they seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of the cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased." It says, "Why criest thou for thine iniquities? Their sorrows are incurable." It says, "For the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee." Okay, that's why the Lord says, your bruises are incurable. Okay, there's no cure for these bruises, that you've been under. Okay, and you're still feeling, okay, the effects of them, except through the word. John 6. Let's get this in St. John chapter 6. This is St. John chapter 6, verse 63. It says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life." So if you're not receiving the word right now, guess what? You're still lifeless. There's still no breath within you, and you're just heading for nothing but pure destruction on the way. Okay, and there is nothing that can be done except it be of the Lord, like John said in St. John chapter 3. It says, "A man can receive nothing." Okay, you know what? Let's go back to St. John. This is the book of St. John chapter 3. verse 27. Then John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven. Says, ye yourself, St. John chapter 3 verse 27. Says, John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven. Like it says also in the book of Job, okay, there is a spirit within man, but by the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them what? Understanding. So if that was not given unto you, there's nothing that can be done for you, okay, except by what you just only getting condemned, okay, until that day of judgment comes and arises. Okay, let's go back to St. John 6 and 63. This is St. John chapter 6 and now verse 63. It says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. All right, this way brings forth what? They bring forth life. All right, before I go back to Isaiah 6 and 9, let's get Baruch. This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. It says that this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leaveth shall die. Abiding in the word of Yahawah, that's what's going to bring life. Okay, that's the beginning of, okay, all wisdom and the beginning of life thereof is through the fear of Yahawah. Okay, in fact, let's go this in the wisdom of Solomon. Let's get this in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, verse chapter 16. It says, verse 12 says, for it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. For thou hast power of life and death. Thou leadest to the gates of hell and bringeth up again. That shows you the power of this word. Okay, this very word is, which is, Scripture says that the word is which is able to make us what? Wise unto salvation, and salvation bring forth about what? Life. And this salvation is in this time around we bring about what? The first fruits of what? Of eternal life. Those who are of Yahawah, it is return. Those who are going to be looking forward, it is return. All right. Those who know exactly what the return of the Lord and Savior Yahawah entails. Okay, what the sin is going to be, the scene, how it's going to be like at his return. Now let's go back to Isaiah chapter 6. Isaiah chapter 6 and 9. Isaiah 6 and 9. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 9 says, and he said, go tell these people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. It says, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Going back to the book of Matthew, when Yahweh has told these wicked scribes and Pharisees, say, look man, you're able to discern about the weather, the physical things before you are within your sight, but you can't tell the times and the season that we're living in. Because what? Because they were blinded. Because they were actually blinded. Scripture tells you that in Romans, okay, that we need to be aware, because blindness happened in part unto Israel, and Paul speaks about that veil that still yet remain. All right. It says, let's go to this Matthew chapter 14, I believe. All right. It's not 14, so like Matthew. It's another precept in Matthew 13 that I'm thinking about. No, let's go to this one. It's Matthew chapter 13. Let me see. It says, so he said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom, but unto them it is not given. Okay, because the Most High, he has blinded the eyes of the masses of the 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. 2/3 of you have been blinded from receiving the truth. Okay, even the basics, okay, coming to the understanding and the acknowledgement of the true identity and the skin texture and the color of the Lord, the angels, the Israelites themselves, and who Esau is, who the enemy is, and who you are as a nation. These are some of the things which the Heavenly Father has made sure that a lot of you Israelites, you're going to still be blinded until you return back to the spiritual world. Okay, if ever there were tickets, okay, to the spirit world, man, they will run. Hey, they will sell out eventually, man. With the amount of the spirits of the Israelites that are going to be sent back to the spirit world, it will be a sellout in that day. Never to mention the nations also, because they're going to be also be a lot of number of these nations that are going to go. They're going to go back to the spirit world. Okay, whose spirit is going to depart from their flesh. Okay, who are going to be put to death in simple terms at the day of the Lord. And it's not hugs and kisses. It's gonna be pure, devastating judgment. Because the reward of being blinded, he is going to be granted. Revelation 22. Okay, this says go and tell this people, hear ye indeed but understand not, and see ye indeed but perceive not. It says, make the hearts of these people fat and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. Okay, so what? He doesn't want you to see a lot of you Israelites being fully persuaded in your mind, converting, being healed. Judges 5:11, rehearsing these righteous acts. No, he still wants to see a lot of you still being blinded, not knowing who you are, still rejecting your nationality as Israelites, still calling yourselves blacks, still calling yourselves Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Meanwhile, you are Israelites, the holy nation, the peculiar treasure before the sight of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. All right, let's get Romans. All right, let's get this one in Romans. Let's go to this one in the book of Romans. This is Romans chapter 10. This is Romans chapter 10, verse verse 7 says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Okay, it's only about what? The election, the elect of the Heavenly Father. These are the ones that matters, the only lives that matters, the lives of the elect. And those who are the elect, those who are going to die. Okay, judgment is going to come unto those who have shed the blood of the saints. Okay, judgment will come eventually. Blood will come. Vengeance is on its way. Galatians 6 says, what? Be not deceived, for whatsoever man sow, that shall he also reap. Okay, because the Lord he's taking account of every single action that is happening right now, okay, on the planet. He's taking notes. Okay, he's taking a record of all these things that are happening right now. And you thinking somehow he's pleased with this bullshit? No, man, he's not. He's far from being satisfied with the so-called status quo right now, of the way things are being run. The LGBT, eating GMOs, you name these things, man. Pedophilia, the taking of the name of the Lord in vain. the impersonations, okay, of the holies of holies. There's a great sentence, okay, to be served for you nations and the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. There's a great sentence to be served. Alright, it's Romans chapter 11, verse 7 says, "What then? Israel have not obtained of which he seeketh for, but election of obtaining, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they shall not see, and ears that they shall not hear, unto this day." Okay, as we speak right now, doing all these live streams, okay, recording these street lessons, as it is unto this very day, the rest have been blinded. They just simply cannot receive the truth, man. No matter how you try to break down these scriptures, they just cannot receive the truth. You see, they just cannot receive the truth. Even the basics, simple things that even a child is supposed to understand, they just cannot understand them. Because why? Because it's of the Lord's doing. He's the one that has poured upon them up the spirit of deep sleep upon them. Okay. And the world is about to realize that, look, man, ignorance is not all that bliss. Okay. Ignorance has never been bliss. Okay. That's why it says here in Revelation chapter 22. It's Revelation chapter 22, verse 8. Let me see. Revelation chapter 22, verse 11 says, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still." And this is the Messiah speaking here, the YAHAWADAH. So look, man, if they still doing their own shit, still eating all these abominations, still calling upon, okay, the false names of the Father, okay, and the mediator, his son's YAHAWADAH, says let them alone. Okay, don't be too worked up about what they're doing, man. Just know this, just do your part. Give them warning. Okay, if they're gonna keep on continuing on being stiff-necked, let it be judgment upon them. Okay, but just wash the blood off your hands. Give them warning. Okay, like it says in Jeremiah 28 and Ezekiel 33. Let's get this in Ezekiel and close off. I'm gonna close off with Ezekiel chapter 33. Alright, gonna close off with Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30. It says, "Also thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and the doors of the house. And they speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear ye what the word of the Lord cometh. Hear ye the word that cometh from the Lord. And they come to thee as the people cometh, and they see before thee as my people. And they hear their words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth but." Let me see. It says, "For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness." They're still rebellious. They don't want to repent. Okay, they don't know what repenting is. They reject to turn back. Okay. It says, "And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song, as that one that have a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear their words, but they do them not. It says, but when this comes to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that the prophet has been among them." What? When you ain't got shit to eat, you've been presented with the RIFID chip, the mark of the beast, in your face, then will you know the prophets have been among you. When the fucking economy crashes, xenophobic attacks start running rampant, tribalism, you name it all, man. Chaos up on top of chaos, then will you know that the prophets have been among you. But it's going to be fucking little too late. Okay, as Brenda Fassie's song goes, "Too late for mama," that's how it's going to be in that day. Because when the Lord says that in Second Chronicles 36, Okay, verse 15 says, you were mocking the servants of the prophets until there was no remedy. And in that day there will be no remedy, none whatsoever. There's going to be nothing but judgment. Okay, there's going to be nothing but pure judgment on the way. And with that, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Honors unto you, elders, apostles of Red Millstone, peace, love, salutation to the elect out there. Shalom, Brakatah.